This is the best job you could ever possibly have. It's such a great, great job. And like, I never thought I'd like travel before this. And like, sometimes it's not awesome. I was in Scotland this summer, and I was performing at a music festival, and I was on in a cabaret tent, which is a bad idea, and I had to follow burlesque, which is a booking error. Comedy should never follow naked ladies. Comedy should never follow naked ladies, because no one's ever like, those ladies were really sexy. Let's see what a skinny Jew has to say about cars. It is always a step down. I'm waiting to go on stage, and there's a lady sitting next to me, and she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a comedian." And she went, "I could never do that." And I was like, "Tonight, I probably can't, so it's fine." I said, "What do you do?" And she went, "Oh, I work for Cirque du Soleil." And I said, "What do you do for Cirque du Soleil?" And she went, "I'm a sword swallower." And I said, "You're impressed by the comedy thing?" And she went, "Yeah. What if it doesn't go well?" I don't bleed out from the inside. That's never happened to a comedian. If you went to a comedy show and you saw a bad comedian, you probably wouldn't talk about it the next day. If you went to Cirque du Soleil and you saw a sword swallower who was less than perfect, you would never talk about anything else. Or it's something you would never bring up, and then like 10 years later, someone would be like, "Hey, do you want to go to the circus?" You'd be like, "No!" We went once in the 90s. She had hiccups. It was horrible. I don't even know how you become a sword swallower, because as a comedian, here's how you start as a comedian. Here's how some people start as a comedian. You're 17 years old. You're really, really interested in comedy, but you don't know about comedy clubs, and you're growing up in a suburb of Boston. So you rollerblade to a local pizzeria that has a music open mic, and you walk in and you say to the lady hosting the music open mic, a woman named Annie who plays the ukulele. She's not very good. You say, "I'd like to do stand-up comedy." And she goes, "That seems like a terrible idea." And you're like, "I'd still like to do stand-up comedy." And she's like, "Well, how much time do you want to do?" And you go, "How much time do the musicians do?" And she goes, "They do half an hour." And because you don't know anything, you just go, "I'll do half an hour." You haven't brought any material, but you don't know the option of leaving is one of your options. So you stand on stage for half an hour and bomb harder than anyone has ever bombed. You leave the stage, you walk to the back, you put on your rollerblades, and then through hot tears, you hear the host go, "Maybe he'll get better one day." And because of that, you go back every goddamn Tuesday for 2 years. That is how some people start. You start at a terrible level, but then you get better with time. You can't do that as a sword swallower. You have to be good from day number one, right? And you can't show up at an open mic with like a butter knife and be like, "Hi, I'm hoping to get way better at this." You come back next week with a cream cheese knife, you work your way through your cutlery drawer slowly. To pay for college, I had the worst jobs. I worked at KFC. I worked at KFC for 3 weeks, which is the longest anyone has ever worked at a KFC. I have a pension. What you're supposed to do when someone walks into a KFC is say, "Can I help you?" The KFC that I worked at was in New York City's Penn Station, and I worked the 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift. The 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift. at a fast food restaurant in New York City at 1 o'clock in the morning, "Can I help you?" is not good customer service. It's a promise you can't keep. I never minded sad people, by the way. You should be sad. It's a KFC. The people I minded were like young white hipsters who would come in like it was a real restaurant. They'd say things like, And they'd be like, "What's your healthy option?" And I'd be like, "Leaving. That's our healthy option." By the way, that's why I love, like, growing up in Boston, there's this place called Dunkin' Donuts. And I love Dunkin' Donuts. You know why? Because they know it's bad. No one pretends. They don't make the employees pretend. You walk into a Dunkin' Donuts, they're like, "Hi!" "Welcome to Dunkin'." "What food would you like to eat?" And you're gross, because you're at a Dunkin' Donuts. You're like, "Can I have 50 donut holes for $9? And they're like, "Yeah. Do you want a Diet Coke with that? It is breakfast." Oh, it's so great. You're the same as the employees who work at Dunkin' Donuts. The customers are the same as the employees. You're unhappy, they're unhappy. You're gross, they're gross. You're not wearing gloves, they're not wearing gloves. And it's wonderful. When I worked at, this woman came in once to KFC. And she was at least 300 pounds. And she had the meanest expression I've ever... By the way, I spent a lot of the last few months in England. In England, it is hard to tell this joke because pounds are money to them. So for weight, they use stone. For weight, they use stone. So I have to be like, this woman came in. She was 1 boulder. And she gets to the front, and I said, "Can I help you?" And she went, "I don't know, can you?" And I didn't know what to say to that, because I couldn't be like, "Probably not." But I was like, "We have chicken. What would you like to eat?" And she went, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, what are you feeling?" Which is also the wrong question. Because she goes, "Well, I'm tired. And I'm homesick. And I miss my family. What do you think I should get, you little jerk?" And because I was like 18 and I had no training and I had no other options, I was like, "If you miss your family, we have a family bucket. You could get..." The worst tattoo I've ever seen. I worked with this girl at KFC. And we called her Jennifer 9/11. And hold on, it's way worse than you think. She had a tattoo on her lower back of the Twin Towers and the words "never forgets." First of all, boner killer. Second of all, that means at some point she walked into a tattoo parlor, presumably after 9/11. Otherwise, it's crazy. And she went, "I want a permanent reminder of the saddest day in American history." And they were like, "Gettysburg?" And she's like, "No. I mean, statistically no, more recent." And they're like, 9/11? And she's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, where do you want it?" She's like, "Should be a reminder." And they're like, yeah. And she's like, sure, remind me every day. And I'm like, okay, where do you want the reminder? And she's like, what's the one part of my body you could never see ever unless you had a neck like an owl? And they're like, lower back, and she's like, lower back. But here's why it's really horrifying. Here's why it's really horrifying. Because time isn't always kind to people's lower backs. Yeah. And eventually, her skin is gonna sag. And those twin towers are gonna collapse again. So it's less of a reminder and more of a reenactment. That reaction is going on the album. I don't care.